Things I love about money. This can be a year-end activity or a new way to think about money in challenging times. Money as a tool can move us closer to our goals. One of the challenges with money is tangibilizing the intangible. In the old days, people would go to a bank or a savings bank and have a passbook. They could see what they deposited, what interest was paid, what the withdrawal was. They had a visual record. Now today we use spreadsheets, apps, journaling, pictures, different kinds of agreement. But if you tie money in its most powerful way to goals and dreams, let me suggest another way to do visualization. This is a dream board I made years ago that looked at all kinds of new ways I could think about goals and tie them to the financial ability to achieve them. Welcome to What's Next with Money, a program about recognizing and moving on from financial regret, missed opportunities, and bad advice. Inside these crises lie the seeds of hope and learning. This program holds the promise of second chances, strategies for growth, and financial empowerment. Let's get started. We're talking about 5 things I love about money. The first one is the opportunity to save. Now, some folks might say, I can't save. And it's often because our credit is crowding out our ability to save because we're paying so much on debt service. We're juggling bills and payments. But a way to create an opening, an opportunity to save, is actually tracking credit, listing what you owe, what is the interest rate, what are some of those payments. And this will help tangibilize and help you visualize that. One thing the federal government did a few years ago on credit card statements, they created a little box that showed if you paid just the minimum on that monthly credit card bill, how long it would take to pay off the balance. This was a fantastic way to show people the real cost of revolving credit and how many years that would take. In reality, credit is an upside-down view of savings. Noted mutual fund manager with Fidelity, Peter Lynch, said, debt is savings in reverse. Debt is savings in reverse. Another way to tangibilize the issue of payments and credit, if you own a home, request an amortization schedule. This will show you each month how much goes toward interest, how much goes toward principal. And building the principal helps you build ownership and equity. But it shows you how those loans are structured really kind of against us at the beginning because we're really literally paying almost pure interest month to month, and there's not a lot of ownership built up at that point. But building savings can become the opportunity, the literal and financial space to reduce debt. And there are many great programs to help reduce debt. You may have heard of this snowball program that Dave Ramsey invented. And this is where folks grab their smallest debt, they try to pay that off, pay a little extra. When they're finished with that, they apply that payment to the next largest debt to prepay and actually whittle that down. Now, financial planners say there's another way to do that type of debt reduction, and that could be make a list of your debts, but listed by the highest interest rate first, and attack those most expensive debts. And you'll see kind of the extra pain you're paying with on those high interest rates. Savings gives us several opportunities. We can create a replacement fund to replace something that's worn out, a refrigerator, washing machine. It also creates reserves for a financial and life opportunity. But really, one of the greatest benefits of savings is ready cash in a crisis. With savings, we create our own cushion. There are new opportunities to save that are being developed all the time. And one's called a rainy day fund that can be attached to a 401k retirement account contribution. Think about this. With each paycheck, and I don't even see it because it comes out before I get my money, that contribution contains a small portion that goes into a emergency savings account. And I can withdraw that at any time without any tax consequences or penalties. My friends at the nonprofit called Commonwealth up in Boston with the financial firm BlackRock are pioneering this type of new approach. And UPS, Etsy, and MasterCard are piloting this program right now with their employees. Now, some folks, and I may be one of them, are just wired to be savers. They do it naturally through habit, through family example, or maybe some blessed internal ability to fight impulse spending and excessive spending with credit. You might even call them, or you might even call me, an excessive saver. And really, that can perhaps even get out of hand sometimes. But behavioral finance is a new way that financial products are structured and employee benefits are structured to capture our own inertia. We don't have to be a financial geek. It works when you start a job and you're automatically opted into a saving structure through retirement. You have to tell the HR people at any time, I want out. But guess what? Nearly 90% of Americans, if they're defaulted into a savings program for retirement with an employer, they stay in it. And they literally magically build savings over time. And after a year or so, they can look at their statements and say, I did that. And they did it really without lifting a finger. So it's painless. We don't have to decide. It's pre-decided. In essence, we've pre-committed. And it demonstrates the power of the investment and the contribution that's removed from our paycheck before we even grab it. Many of us can do supplemental savings into a checking or savings account outside of this. We don't have to do it just in retirement accounts. You could have, for example, $50 a month come out of your paycheck before you receive it and go into a regular bank or credit union account. That's a great way to build an emergency fund. So we're talking about 5 things I love about money. The next one is ownership, growing wealth. This is the world of investing, starting small. Maybe an objective, if you have a 401k plan with your employer, is to go for that match, build up to it, where any dollar you put in, the employer matches that dollar for dollar. And after you reach that level, if you're still aggressive about savings, think about setting up a Roth IRA and perhaps start with low-cost index funds, mutual funds, or ETFs, exchange-traded funds. And think about diversification. Diversification, at least in equity investing, is somewhat baked into those index funds. You're not having all your eggs in one basket. You're buying a basket, buying the market. And that contains many, many businesses that you don't have to pick and choose from. In the world of investing with housing and real estate, this is very location specific, and it needs to match your long-term goals. It's not portable. And with COVID, but we found a bonus to owning a home. It's a place to work from, where online learning can happen for you, your children, and also a place to birth a business, a gig, nurturing a hobby that might become a business, or even creating a nonprofit or social enterprise. And think about the idea of entrepreneurship, of a small business, creative endeavors that might open new doors to you. One way to sample this, even if you don't think you have a specific idea of what a small business might be, is to go find online or in person some form of entrepreneurial training. This is where you can study first, watch others who are successful in launching a creative enterprise or small business, intern, volunteer, apprentice. We will have some ideas in this area on the free PDF that I'm going to mention to you in a couple of minutes. Years ago, I actually attended a Chamber of Commerce entrepreneurial training session. I had a little bit of a business idea in the back of my mind, not totally formed, but attending this training, roughing out a business plan and hearing the stories of others helped me align and smooth my idea. But actually, it became an idea years later in a different form, but something that did pay income. And this might ignite a spark in you as it did me. Don't forget to press that subscribe button to What's Next with Money. And did you know you can get this free PDF? It's a download 6-page guide, how to take control of your finances. And it has some of the even new ideas about entrepreneurial training and helping you think of what's next in your life in a business or vocational setting. We're talking about 5 things I love about money. The next one is income. This is cash flow. It's the money coming in. But for positive cash flow, know where you are financially. Know what debt service you're responsible for and how to perhaps trim expenses, identifying the things you don't need or have to pay. Or guess what? We just went through this drill. As the economy was shut down for COVID, many of us adjusted our household budgets in a radical way. There were fewer things we could spend on, but we had to trim some of those bills that were coming in, even as in many cases, our income was trimmed. They call money as the mother's milk of politics. Well, guess what? Cash flow is the oxygen of business, whether it's a job, a gig, always looking out for new ways to earn money. And cash flow and income flow is so important. And did you realize that if you work at a place that has employee benefits, this is really a form of compensation that can help you with your financial future, not only building toward retirement, but guess what? Your next job, your side gig or small business, paying you to learn, cashing in on the training you already have or the degree you may have, and even your work experience. Think of what some of these are. Paid time off, where you can explore through vacation or other forms, checking out new vocations or new entrepreneurial activities. The different insurances that are provided, health, dental, life, retirement benefits, healthcare spending and reimbursement accounts like HSAs or FSAs, disability insurance, tuition reimbursement. It's so powerful, and many people don't tap into it. And if it's offered, check it out. Training and professional development, as well as telecommuting options, which we've used a lot recently, and learning the soft side, the real DNA of business, the aspect of working with bosses, building teams, understanding technology, data, business ethics. This contains seeds and skills that you can use in your own enterprise or the next place you may go professionally. And we're talking about the 5 things I love about money. The next one is choice, reinvention, and course correction. Choice, reinvention, and course correction. This is where you might create a savings target or an investment target for something completely new, like a moving fund to move out of someplace geographically or maybe even into another country. Another type of fund could be a sudden opportunity fund, where you think you may be building skills that would allow you to invest in a business or create something new. Dream seed money, living out your values. What about a walk away fund? Why would you do this? If you're working at a place you're not sure of their values, you're not sure of their organization's financial health, or perhaps a failing enterprise, storing up walking away money where you can literally walk out with your head held high to look for a new opportunity because the danger in staying there may be too great and you need to get ahead and get out before there's a real problem. Having a fund for education and professional development to supplement what might be a partial employee benefit, but perhaps something that you can build on and get training to do something new or enhance skills for a promotion. And even money to change a life narrative, to improve one's reputation, do social enterprise, nonprofit volunteering, another way to live out your values in that sense. Money allows for financial peace of mind and alignment with interest, ambition, and values. Ask yourself, what is the American dream for myself, for my family, for my legacy, for my extended family? What is the heritage I want to tap into as I chart my own course with my skills and ambition? Money can help you do that. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button here at What's Next with Money. And did you know you can send us a question go to what'snextwithmoney.com, our website, or the link in the comments section below. We're talking about 5 things I love about money. And the next and last one is giving, charity, and this is another way of blending money with values. And of course, you can do this in a regular work environment. It doesn't have to be nonprofit. It doesn't have to be giving. Being an entrepreneur, being part of free enterprise is a way of living out values, no question about it. But to help your family, your children, those in need, establishing a money heritage for your family, helping others, building community capacity, fixing things in your community, fixing things in your neighborhood. This would include stopping societal or community conditions that are harmful, that are dangerous, that actually suffocate human potential. Having money available for gifts and appreciation of others, something that is unexpected. For the faith-based viewers, there's tithing, alms, which is giving to the poor, which can be time, treasure, talent, and goods, as well as offerings. In the financial planning field, there's a new, not so new, but somewhat new, called donor-advised funds. And this is where you can give to a fund and get a tax write-off, but giving stock, investments, perhaps even real estate. The key is if you give to a nonprofit donor-advised fund, do not convert the asset to cash. Give the security, give the real estate, give the mutual fund, and let them sell it. You then save on taxes and get a tax deduction. And since tax itemization is much harder now under tax reform, you may want to bunch your gifts in a single tax year to allow you to itemize. And a new field is emerging in corporate America, and this is called ESG, and it stands for Environmental, Social, and Governance. It's a new way to look at social goods, environmental protection, and ethics. And it's touching the investing world in the area of ETFs, mutual funds, and other types of investment. So we've just covered 5 things I love about money, and you may want to create one of these visual dream boards to tangibilize the intangible, but it can be the power of attraction to move you toward your goals and those of your family. So be sure to hit that subscribe button, and remember, new episodes of What's Next with Money are available on Thursdays. I'm Brent Neiser, looking to see you next time on What's Next with Money.